everyone. My name is Stephanie.N.Duncan, and this episode on the Duncan Daily is our 2020 December market review. And we are going to cover a little bit of the entire 2020 review and some topics like forbearance and what we have to look forward to in 2021. As you can see here, our current market review for the Denver metro area market shows that we have had active inventory down, closed homes down, average close price just slightly down, and our average days on market is 22, it looks like. So that's still very quick. We're seeing this drop because of the holidays and not as many people are listing and not as many people are buying at the very moment when the holidays were happening. For the overall housing market recovery index, we look at four main components. Those components are demand, supply, price, and the time on the market. You can see that we took a dip right around the shutdowns in regards to the COVID virus there. We are currently making a nice recovery, very strong, notable recovery there. It is important right now that we've settled into a very, very nice market. So it's important to note that. The number of forbearances on mortgages are currently dropping. I know that this is a hot topic in the news right now, and everybody is whispering about foreclosures and everything else. So this shows that there has been a active, very dramatic decrease in the amount of forbearances that are out there. And you can see that over time here. It shows on this graph that 54.6% of all of the forbearance plans have already been paid in full. With that said, that payment in full could have been that they paid off their entire forbearance or that they possibly sold their home. 30.7% of those that were in forbearance have worked out a current and active repayment plan so that they are in good standing at the moment. So that only leaves 14.7 that are still in trouble. 1.9 are working on repayment plans or in short sale or in deed of lieu of foreclosures, with the other 12.8% not having any mitigation plan so far. So this is that percent that could go into foreclosure, that 12.8%, or possibly the entire 14% if the other people can't get their forbearance plans worked out. So there is steps if you are currently in forbearance trouble. You do need to talk to your local providers. Feel free to reach out to me if you need any help with how to do that. You need to get anything and everything in writing from them, from your service provider. And you need to make sure that it is actually your service provider and that you aren't in any sort of scam working with somebody that is not your actual service provider. So the next topic that we are going to go over is about home prices, and are they going up too fast, and can that cause any issues with anything in the housing market? It is noteworthy to know that housing prices are very, very strong. Housing prices were notably, I am tempted to say, very strong in September. It gained 7% relative to its level over a year ago. And this is from our 3 monthly readings since June of this year have all shown accelerated growth in home prices, and they continued after this date as well. So normally we see a 3.8% average home price increase every year, and this has been the average since 1990 Since 2012, we have seen a large increase of 6.1% on average of home value. Now, please note that this is a nationwide and it can vary slightly depending on your area. So what does that mean? Can this cause issues in the future? Does this show anything being a problem? What if 3.8% was our gain? Let's see what that would look like. So if 3.8% gain was our historic gain from 2000 to today, this is what the median sales price would look like. Now let's look at overlay when we put in 6.8% gain since 2000 to today. And you can see that we are pretty much right on target until this year of 2020. Now, why did we see such a large gain just this year? It was because interest rates were extremely low, inventory was very low, and there was a lot of buyers out there, causing a slight fluctuation in home prices. What determines the price of houses? It is purely the inventory that is out there. As the inventory goes down, prices go up. And we are seeing a very low inventory right now. And you can see this from 2010 to 2020, that we, coming out of the previous issues that we had, inventory was higher. And now we are seeing a very low inventory. So that is the difference between the previous down market that we saw and anything going on today. So basically, is there any correlation between 2006 when we had that painful bubble that burst and today? Basically, there is no comparison. Back in 2006, we had adjustable rate mortgages taxed many buyers' budgets, and they weren't able to afford their homes, along with large amount of debts that they had besides that. Most buyers today are taking out 30-year fixed rate mortgages, and so that really helps stabilize their payments. And if we can get out of this forbearance issues that we've had, it will turn out pretty decent. America's mortgage debt does soar to record 10 trillion. That is a scary article in the news, but let's investigate that a little bit more. So that happened because of the interest rates being so low. Mortgage originations, which include refinances, we're at 1.05 trillion, the second highest volume in the history of this series, only second to the historic refinance boom in the third quarter of 2003. So we start to see all these refinancing come in, and we see the volume come in, and then we see more mortgage debt because of that. But we really want to look at is the debt of the service of the mortgages. So this shows that overall, the debt of your mortgage to your disposable personal income. Back in 1980, 4.3% was the mortgage debt. It took a peak in the housing bubble back in 2007 when we did see that previous crash. We're at today, we are at 3.72%. So you can kind of see that people are not possibly as house poor as they were back in 2007. So what does that mean with the foreclosures as we look ahead into 2021? So the outlook for 2021 hinges, of course, on the coronavirus and what's going to happen with the course of the coronavirus. And as we are seeing, the vaccines come out and people have high hopes that we could see just small shifts in this. And it also depends on the businesses, how they hire, how job seekers search, where people are living. It's all going to affect the market on that. So what are interest rates possibly going to be like in 2021? They're calling for it to hold steady at 3% for all 4 quarters in 2021. So what does that mean for the housing market? We still expect to see home sales in 2021 to become in at 7% above the 2020 levels. And we're probably going to see some normal seasonality trends and building momentum through the spring, which is always our busy season, and keeping pace over the second half of the year. While home sales are expected to lose some momentum over the last months of 2020, and we did see just a little bit of that because of the holidays and a second round of shutdowns, at least in Colorado and some other places. But they are actively leading into 2021 and the first half of the year. So we are seeing already some growth. Home prices forecast for the next 12 months. These are different people that are predicting different items of the amount. As you can see, Realtor.com is predicting the highest for 2021 at 5.7, and everybody else just around that 3 mark. Any foreclosures that we do see in coming onto the market will probably quickly be absorbed by the market. And that is because there is such low inventory. It will probably not lead to any price declines. And this is a great screen to show the percentage of distressed property sales and kind of the graph over since the 2012 to today. And you can see that we were very high back in 2012 with 35%. We had a small peak in January of 2019 at 4%. And as of October of 2020, it was down to less than 1%. So this winter may be one of the best winters for sales activity. Normally, winter is a little bit slower in our market, but on a winter to winter comparison, this is probably going to be one of the best years based off of what we've been seeing. So if you need any help with anything in regards to selling or buying a home, please reach out to me. Also, if you need help with any forbearance stuff and getting that taken care of or cleaned up, please reach out to me on that. Also, I would love to help with any of your questions. You can call me, text me, email me, PM me, whatever works best for you. And so this closes our 2020 last market update. So I am looking forward to 2021 and providing these every month for you with a quick recap of what's happening. Take care, everybody.